Let's start in Tadasana, mountain pose. Notice how your pelvis is square here and your pelvis is level as well. Now from deep within your right hip socket, turn your right leg out and then place your right foot to your left inner leg and press your right foot against your left inner leg and then firm your outer left hip in and draw your right sitting bone down to level your pelvis. And notice how you can't really turn your right leg out 90 degrees without shifting your pelvis. So to square the pelvis to the front, your right knee has to come forward slightly so it's not turned out 90 degrees. Let's meet back in Tadasana. And then your left side, turn your left leg out from deep within your hip socket and place your left foot to your right inner leg and press your left foot against your right inner leg as you firm your outer right hip in, and then draw your left sitting bone down and lengthen from your left inner leg to your inner knee and from the outer knee into your hip. So this is Vrikshasana, tree pose, and come back to Tadasana. Let's step our feet about 4 to 5 feet apart and measure the stance by checking that your ankles are underneath your wrists, or you can point your fingers down and then measure it that way. Turn your left foot in slightly, turn your right foot and right leg out 90 degrees. And notice if you're trying to square the pelvis like you did in tree pose, your right knee will splay in. So allow the back hip to come forward slightly. And then lift your right hip to level your pelvis and turn your chest to face straight ahead. And then on an exhalation, bend your front knee, come into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Check that your right knee is directly above your right ankle, so the weight is in your right heel. Lift your left inner leg, left inner ankle, and then lift your right hip up off your right thigh. And stretch dynamically out, especially through your left arm. And then straighten your right leg. Hinge at the top of the right thigh, come into Trikonasana, lengthening the right side of your torso. And then you can use a block to bring the ground up closer so that you can keep a nice long torso. You can look up towards the top hand. And then inhale, come back up, parallel your feet. And then turn your right foot in slightly and turn your left foot and left leg out 90 degrees. And lift your left hip, tuck the right hip in, and turn the back hip forward slightly. So we're not trying to square the pelvis. And then exhale, bend the front knee. And have your left shin perpendicular to the floor, left knee tracking in line with the second, third toe. And tuck the right hip in, lift your left hip. So Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. And then straighten your left leg, hinging at the top of the left thigh. And lengthen the left side of the torso and perhaps use a block underneath your left hand to maintain that nice elongation of your spine. Press your feet into the floor, come up and parallel your feet and step your feet together back to Tadasana. So, hope this was helpful. Thank you so much.